Hi guys, welcome to Jay Today. So I know you've been waiting for me to get kind of stuff back on all the FOIA requests that I did on John and through the FBI, because he claimed that the FBI had raided his place with the SWAT team because someone gave them a tip off about him having an arsenal of weapons. So I'll start with that one. I requested it. They only update it once a week, and of course there's absolutely nothing on there because it never happened. Which was like, if someone rings up and says that, they don't just turn up with the whole SWAT team at your home because someone rang up and said that. You kind of have to be on the radar for it. He said that they came in and like destroyed the place, but he's not had like one picture of it, and that they searched everywhere. But again, absolutely no picture, no video. As we know, John puts absolutely everything online. And I know from like personal experience, my first husband, I loved him to death, but he was a dodgy MF. And our house was raided like practically weekly because of him. And they don't like kind of knock on the door and be nice. They come in with a battering ram. They separate you into different rooms. They absolutely destroy the place. They pull it apart. They pull up floorboards. They pull off wardrobe doors. They broke my bed once. They brought in the money dog once because there'd been an armed raid on, you know, one of them cash vans, and they were looking for the cash from it, which was I think about 50 grand, something like that, which I obviously didn't have, or if he had done something, he didn't tell me about it. Anyway, so they brought the dog in, and the dog, it actually looked like, because they had a DRUG dog as well, and it looked exactly the same as that dog. So I think they were double dogging with this one. So they brought the dog in to sniff out money if there was any, which they didn't actually find any. But it went upstairs and it scratched at the side of my bed, and I started panicking like, oh my God, has he hidden like 50 grand on the side of the bed like an idiot? Anyway, they pulled my bed apart, ripped it to shreds with a knife, pulled up the floorboards, destroyed my floors, and found absolutely nothing except a dead mouse under the floorboard. So this dog was also stupid as well as not very good at its job. But also I know, like, if the FBI were anything like the police here, the Garda, then that's what's going to happen when they go in looking for an arsenal of weapons. So I know that nothing's actually going to come up. It hasn't come up yet, and I doubt it's going to come up in the future. So if there had been a raid by the FBI, you don't think he's going to be putting that up on Instagram or, you know, on his YouTube live, because I sent him an email asking how his cats were, and he showed that about 500 times. It was on his Instagram and on everything. The other night he was on live saying that he'd been sent more messages about someone wanting to K his friend's kids. Again, we didn't get to see that email, but yeah, he showed one asking how his cats were. And he turned that around in like 2 weeks as well on another live, saying that someone wanted to barbecue his cats. Like, he just absolutely makes stuff up in his head. Now moving on to all the welfare checks and John's active criminal case against all his harassers, because I kind of wanted to know, like, who's it against, you know. What are the police doing about it? Because he claimed that his 6 tyres were slashed, even though we never got a picture of that either, which he'll probably send Cody out now with a knife to try and get a few pictures. But yeah, we never got a picture of that, and he said he never made a police report. So he never made a police report over that, but yeah, everything else, like a box of tampons, he wanted fingerprinting. So I called BS on that. Anyway, I asked them, and there is absolutely no criminal case for harassment for John Yates. Absolutely none whatsoever. They found it hilarious. He's actually not very well liked there, because they know that time when he went in and he filmed them. You remember when he was when he claimed Sherelle was after him, and and that so he's not very well liked there. He's kind of a bit of a joke. So yeah, there's absolutely no criminal case for harassment for John Yates, because he's not actually being harassed except for in his own mind, obviously. And then the 40 welfare checks as well, a week. It changes from 40 welfare checks this year to 40 welfare checks a month. You know how he exaggerates each time. So I decided to try get them. And I wondered why Yahoo Boy wasn't releasing anymore, because it was like, is he going to put out some more or what? So I decided to get some myself, seeing as like 40 of them, and he's like accusing this person and that person of ringing the police, how it's every single day that they're coming to his door. Anyway, there isn't any. There's only them 2 that are already out there. So unless the police are lying, which I don't see why they would do. But yeah, there's only them 2 welfare checks that have actually been sent to John's shed/cottage. And then the 2 that he did on Cody as well. So So these 40 odd that he's saying, absolute BS, did not happen. The only ones that we've actually seen on lives are the ones that have happened. You remember when he was the hot cops? Oh, they were so pretty, the hot. I can't even put pictures of them up because I know Hooley's copyrighted all his pictures. So now every time John's going to claim something about harassment cases and stuff like that, I'm just going to ring Seaside Police and ask them or email them. I do just leave a message. I don't like to bother them, you know, when they're actually busy doing stuff, John, you know. They do actually have jobs to do. And I mean, if anyone else wants to check out if there's any more, welfare checks, feel free. There's the records department. It's open between 9 and 3. You can ring up. They're very helpful. And they'll tell you how many there is exactly. And there's not 40. There's only them 2. Though they probably get sick of people ringing up. So maybe don't everybody be ringing. Just like, that's all there is. If there were any more, they would have been released. Like, definitely they would have been released. There is no more. He's just talking out of his ass. Do you know what else made me think that he was lying as well? If you look at that video when the police come to his house and you can see him kind of panicking and he's saying, Cody, please go up, the police are here, come to the door with me, Cody, the police are here. Now, if the police were coming like 40 odd times to do welfare checks, you're going to be used to it. I remember when I was with my first husband and like, so they used to come between 4 and 5 in the morning, and when they'd smash the front door down, most of the time I didn't even have to get out of bed after like the second time. You just get so used to it. They used to come upstairs and they'd be like, are you going to get up? And we're like, no. And they'd take him out of the room and they'd just search around me. You can also tell if John and Cody were separated while the house was being raided, that each should be in, you know, one in one room, one in the other room. And the police kind of play games, mind games with you, like saying, oh, your husband's in there telling everything. And you're kind of like, yeah, sure he is, Officer Jan. But you can, if John and Cody, if that happened to them, you could tell that in like 1 second they'd be squealing on each other, ratting on each other, because they'd just go into complete panic. It got to the stage at my house where I even said to like the Garda, I said, like, lads, it's not even surprising anymore. It's like 4 or 5 in the morning every single time. And do you know what they did? 2 weeks later, they came at 8 o'clock at night and they came through the back door and they were even laughing when they came in and they says to me, did we surprise you this time? I was like, actually, yeah, you did. So most police do have a sense of humour. I've always found the female ones, they're always snotty and they don't have any sense of humour at all. But like if he was getting 40 welfare checks, have a look at that video. It's still posted on his thing and you can see him panicking about the police being outside. There's absolutely no way he'd been in that much of a panic. And that's what first made me think that he was lying about it, that and it being John, and he lies about everything. I'm wondering now if he's going to find some pictures online of like slashed tyres and stuff and put them up on his Instagram. He will probably send a message to himself as well for the text message from that one that he did the other night where he says people were messaging him threatening to K his friends' kids. But yeah, so anyway, that's the end of that. So there was only 2 welfare checks called to the cottage, and there was the 2 done by John that worked through Seaside that he did to Cody when Cody dared to leave him. And I did contact that police station too because I wanted to see if they had body cam footage of the time, because the police did go to Cody's work and search him. So I'm trying to get a hold of that one. I was hoping to get it before I got this video, but I haven't got it yet. So hopefully I get that one soon. Alright guys, talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.